MotorWeek is made possible by TireRack.com and RockAuto.com.
And Joyce Braga has some news on Ford's answer to the Blazer, the upcoming Bronco 2. But first, let's see the question from the folks at Chevrolet. Now, it was those same folks, you may remember, who gave us a new piece of car jargon back in 1977. That was when we first started hearing about downsizing. Those 77 Impalas and Caprices were Detroit's first official answer to the energy crisis. Well, 6 years later, Detroit is still reducing the bulk of all of its products. For 1983, that trend has even reached muddy outbacks and snow-covered driveways. And the first trail maker to hit the dirt roads is this four-wheel drive Explorer, the mid-size S10 Blazer.
We first met the S10 Blazer last August over the hot and dusty peaks and broken pavement of an old off-road course at GM's Milford, Michigan proving ground. My first reaction to this yellow pre-production workhorse, even before surmounting a near 50% grade, was how cute it looked. As compared to the full-size Blazer, the loss of some 6 inches in wheelbase, 15 inches in length and width, and a half-ton in bulk made a good first impression almost permanent. It really wasn't until Chevy talked price that I lost some enthusiasm. The base two-wheel drive model with an 83 horsepower 2-liter 4 begins at $8,239. Tack on the essential all-wheel drive transfer case and the price leaps to $94,33. And a fully decked out Blazer, nearly 15 grand. Well, nobody ever said that all the best things in life were free. We finally got our hands on a real production version in December. This silver on red model has a V6 attached to a 4-speed automatic gearbox. Chevy says that this will probably be the most popular combination. Must-have options will most likely include these 16-inch rims and tires. They give the Blazer enough ground clearance to practically glide over down telephone poles. But they also create a real problem. The big tire option also includes a full-size spare, and the only way to carry it is to dump it on the generous cargo floor. That means you can't take full advantage of the 1,000-pound payload capacity unless you utilize the easy-to-lower rear bench seat. You can't avoid the tire dilemma by choosing the standard 15-inch rims, but then all you get is this vertically mounted mini spare, not what you really need on an off-road vehicle. Chevy really has to do something about proper carriage of the Blazer's spare. But where it really counts, in the slop and mud, you'll find no problems at all going almost anywhere in the four-wheel drive S10. A new torsion bar independent front suspension and a full perimeter frame allows all the running gear to be tucked up well under. Along with the big tires, that means that bottoming out on some riverbed should never result in a cracked differential. The newly designed 2-speed transfer case is synchronized so you can shift from two-wheel drive to four-wheel high at any speed. The only time you have to stop is for the really tough pulling power of four-wheel low. If you've owned other four-wheelers, you know that getting to all-wheel low gear often takes a lot of muscle, but it's a smooth and easy job in the S10. The only other unusual control you're likely to notice is this dash-mounted wiper delay regulator. It's usually found on the steering wheel stalk, which, like the rest of the interior, is straight high-line S10 pickup. In our case, that included full instrumentation, a tachometer, reclining bucket seats, and a pretty good 4-speaker stereo. Naturally, you'd expect the S10 Blazer to perform well off the road. But what about getting there? Surprise! On the open highway, the Blazer is right at home. First, a sound level reading of 68 decibels at 55 miles per hour is not only good for a car, it's great for a truck. Second, there's decent fuel economy. The automatic V6, the least thrifty combo, is rated at 19 city, 29 highway. Our closed 100-mile test loop produced 22 in real life. Not bad for four-wheel drive. Roadability also proved good through our slow and high-speed handling test. Although most of its 3,600-pound weight is evident in overall slow suspension response, the quick power steering is a joy and makes for agile mobility. Only in an emergency situation, like avoiding a wayward deer on an interstate, could you really sense the back end coming loose. But again, for a glorified truck with tires meant for goo and not blacktop, a very fine performance. But the tires were really a culprit in our braking test. Around town at slow speeds, the Blazer stopped with confidence, if a tad long. The average was 44 feet from 30 miles per hour. But from 55, in a panic situation, its pickup habits were hard to break. Long stops of 146 feet were accompanied by unpredictable wheel lock. Combined with poor tire traction, that meant severe sliding every which way but straight. Power, on the other hand, is quite adequate. A 0 to 60 time of 15.8 seconds is not good for a station wagon, but quite good for a covered pickup. But forget the standard 4-cylinder engine, it would be just too slow. And that's about our conclusion when it comes to passing. A time of 7 seconds to haul from 40 to 55 is really commendable. That is, when you figure in the extra bulk and loss of efficiency inherent in all four-wheel drive systems. In the end, the S10 Blazer, also available as the GMC S15 Jimmy, left us with about the same conclusions as when we began. It's a cute-looking off-roader that's highly practical and ready to go almost anywhere. The transfer case is excellent, the spare tire a bore, and the price, well, a lot of excess baggage. So maybe you should hope for lower interest rates and a generous discount from your local dealer. That might make the S10 Blazer's combination of downsizing and fun a permanent resident of the great outdoors.